So, good morning, guys. It's the Early Bird Morning Show, and welcome to my show. It's 4 a.m. Eastern Time, and it's 10 o'clock in Amsterdam. And what a day it's going to be! It's the day, of course, of Coinbase. Coinbase is going to be on the news all day. News here in Amsterdam opened with Coinbase. Even the what I call the normal news opened with Coinbase. So that means to me that's a big deal. It's going to be a big IPO. And yesterday I heard the price for Coinbase. That's a reference price, of course. And the reference price was $250. $250. So this Coinbase IPO is not a regular IPO as we are used to. It's not going through banks or anything like that. It's a direct listing Coinbase, direct listing IPO, and a direct listing IPO does not have the support of banks or any other institutions that are normally involved in IPOs. So it's going to be a rocky day, I think. For me personally, I'm not going to trade this IPO. It's $250, and it's going to be volatile. It's going to be halted. It's going to be a crazy market. Nobody knows when it's going to be open. They say now 2 p.m. might be, but you never know with these things. If it was a little bit smaller, then it's, well, I might have considered it. But at $250 with this craziness going on, I'm not sure if I'm going to trade this. Welcome to the viewers. Good morning, Motor Dance. Good morning, Gwen. It's a morning show, Gwen. It's a morning show. Don't stay up for another hour and watch what you are doing. It's an early bird show. You can make a few bucks on an early bird show. So that's why it's called early bird show. Just stay up for another hour, and we're going to talk some stocks later on. And at the half hour, I'm going to show you how to do your risk management, because that's a real thing, and it was a real thing for me in the beginning when I started trading. I didn't know with how many shares I should go in. Do I put in all of my shares, or 50% or 75%, or how do you do that? So I worked out this nice scheme, and I'm going to show you at the half hour. In 4 hours the market opens again. Yeah, that's right. Tesla, I see Tesla as a ticker coming on. Is Tesla moving right now? I didn't have a look just yet. I just watched the post-market movements. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. I'm actually responding to the chat. Yeah, that's how I am. I'm Dutch, so I'm very polite. And very direct also. Okay, Ruben. No, I'm not in Japan, Ruben. Maybe Gwen is, but I'm not. I'm not in Japan. I'm in Amsterdam. And few of you know or may know that the stock market was invented here in Amsterdam. And does anyone want to guess when it first started? Stock market, so trading stocks. And a few years later, you could go short in stocks if you believe it. When did stock market start in Amsterdam? Come on, chat. Thanks, Gwen. Tesla up 0.7% in 1856, 1943. I see a bonjour from Caribbeans. 1912, I see. I'm gonna put the answer now in the chats. 1606, guys. 400 years, more than 400 years ago, 400 years ago. I'm really bad at maths. That's not good for anyone who's trading. I'm a day trader, and stock market's been around 400 years, if you believe it. It was the golden age in the Netherlands. It's under a lot of pressure right now because of slavery and all the bad things that Dutch people did in the 17th century, but one thing they did quite all right, and that's starting a stock market, and you could really trade stocks. (1606), yeah, that's right. And the first bubble also started in the Netherlands, and it was the tulip race. The tulip bubble was the first real big bubble in stock markets, and one tulip at one point costs as much as a whole house, if you believe it. You can look that up on Wikipedia or anyone else. Just type in tulip bubble and you will find it. Okay, guys, thanks for responding. So we are in Amsterdam with 400 years of history behind us, and I'm just gonna open now my watch list for pre-market and see what is going on. Well, according to my scanner, there's nothing going on, so nothing moving. So Coinbase already sucked the air out of the market, I think, because my charts are not moving. I'm just going to start this one up one more time in order to see what's going on. Yeah, but I'm a little afraid it's going to be a quiet day, because this IPO of Coinbase is so big that everybody is going to F5 on their screen and just wait for Coinbase to open. Not everybody, but a lot of people will. So they will keep some cash in order to trade this one. And I'm just scared that it's going to be a real quiet day until that point. But well, nobody knows really, do they? Yeah, though that's the sign. You heard it. My charts are up now. So let's look at pre-markets. I saw UTSI in post-markets. I'm going to pull up my screen, of course, because otherwise you have to look at my head all the time. That's not something that anyone would prefer. Here we are. Now, here we are. Okay, UTSI's going up. Just going to have a look at UTSI, what's going on there. It's a small stock, and in pre-market, it's nice to look at those small stocks. We are now 8 minutes into trading. This is UTSI at 220. Some of you guys buy this RIP to 219 from two, and if you put in a decent amount, then you have made your first money. Those who bought it at 290 are now waiting in despair, I think. We also have Canaan pulling up with a high here of 1630. SOS again, that's a regular now. CTRM is, no, that's under $1, so I'm not going to look at that one. EBON spiked up and then pulled down. Palantir, of course. Why not? That's the most favorite stock of. And here we have Tesla. Wow, really, Tesla is going. Wow, this is some move on Tesla. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Any news on Tesla? Did anyone see anything? No, Julian, it's not going to be a quiet day. It looks like it. Everybody tries to make their moves now because before markets going open. But this move on Tesla is really, it's unbelievable. In pre-market, with a big stock like this one. Just gonna look if there is any news on Tesla. Tesla supplier Pegatron to make components. That's what I see. And that's all the news. Tesla prepares to use its new electric semi-trucks between Fremont and Giga, Nevada. But that's from yesterday afternoon. Tesla Model 3 is the best-selling car in Austria. Yeah, well, in Austria, so that's a small market, but if it pops on that news, then that's really something. Did anybody of you guys got this one, this move? How big was the contract, OP? Did it say anything about how big the contract was? That's a nice move. That's a really nice move on Tesla. Okay, what's going on? EBON spiking up here to 550. And now reclaiming above VWAP. Maybe there's something here. Just gonna pull up EBON to look at what we've got here. I traded this one a few times, as you can see. I'm gonna take away those lines now. So this is a spike that I like. Oh, this one's still on daily. So on the left hand, for first time watches, I have my 5-minute screen, and on the left hand side I have my 1-minute screen. In pre-market, I'm trading on my 1-minute screen and looking if this price action allows me to get in here on EBON. So this 5-minute candle made a new high. 525 was the low here. 528 was the low here. 2 more minutes on this 5-minute candle. Let's see if it can break this pre-market open. Watch there are only 2,000 shares traded in this last minute, so that's really low. So if you want to make a buck on this one, you can go in with any decent share size. So this is even for pre-markets a size that I don't like. On EBON. I'm going to take another look at one of the smaller ones now. Why are you doing this? Don't do this to me. Okay. So I'm going to take a look at UTSI again. There's some volume there, 800,000 pre-markets. In market open, that wouldn't be enough for me, but now just might traded this one also before, as you can see. I think FTSE also made some moves in post-market. There we are. So this was FTSE yesterday, post and in post-market, I believe. This big ramp up from 140 till 210. Takes out at 210, but rejects it here at 220. This doesn't give me a lot of confidence here, this 5-minute action right now. It's overextended on the 1 minute now. It's overextended on the 5 minutes, but that's always in the pre-market when you see these candles in the first 5 minutes. So FTSE for me, oh, sorry, this is the daily. Of course, it's overextended on the daily. That's normal. It's not overextended on the 1 minute, of course. It's now choppy around VWAP with volume going down, so that's not going to be something that I really like right now. So there's a lot of pre-market action, but nothing that I will trade right now. Gold is spiking up, so this is an interesting one. It didn't spike at the first minute. As you can see, it took a while. So this went down, then this enormous spike, then this enormous spike, and then if you are a breakout trader, then 330 might be interesting, but also volume going down now here. What is gold? Galectin Therapeutic Biotech. Okay. Well, Nasdaq and SPY made new records yesterday, but well, you make a new record every day. If the previous day before it was a record, then you only have to go one pro mile above it, and that's a new record. So that's every day is going to be a new record if the market's going up a little. No, gold is also not interesting for me right now. So pre-market is BTBT. Okay, it's also a runner from yesterday. Was on my watch list. Okay, this is one that you could have traded. But this is really nice here. And this tells you that was the end of the fiesta, I think, here at 2075. So it has to get above that now in order to be interesting for me in pre-market. I'm going to set an alert at 231. Okay, there was some pre-market action for now, and I'm going to look at some take this one. Sorry. So, looking at tickers that you can trade today, I like VTVT. I traded this one yesterday. It wasn't on my watch list, but it popped up in market open. And in VTVT, I'm going to wait and see. I'm not going to trade it pre-market, but I'm going to wait and see if this is going to be a second-day runner. It hit 360 yesterday, and It had this ridiculous pop in December on 477. Take my 1 minute. Just going down now after some pops also in post market. So it went up yesterday till 380 and there again. And I'm just watching this one because if this is going to be a level here at 335, if this one will hold, then I'm going to play from that point. And if this one doesn't hold, then this 315 is another level for VT. So VT is a play for me. If it holds 335 or if it holds 315 on the long side, I'm a reversal long player normally. So if it holds 315, I'm gonna go on the long side. I'm not a short player in the morning hours. In the afternoon hours, I will do short plays in the double tops. I'm gonna tell you about it later, next week or something. But VT is a play for me. UTSI we also discussed, and I also saw MFNC, Nasdaq stock. So that's the pop yesterday, post-market, MFNC, Mackinac Financial Group. Here was the pop. It's now going down here, but look at this. So I also want to see this one as a secondary run. It might pull back a little bit more. It has to hold, of course, at 1891. This enormous gap is always a risk that it might fall back to its original prices. But if it holds 1891 or it breaks 2196, then it's a play for me, both on the long sides. And then one of my all-time favorites, but also my all-time waiting game stocks is NNDM. Still believe in this one, but it doesn't want to go. For regular viewers, you saw this line that I drew earlier. The line was first on the $8, but it didn't hold the $8. Got down again. Now seems like it wants to hold 727. And is this a reversal or is this not a reversal? You tell me. It's not a reversal as of now because, well, you want to see more volume coming in after a day like this. It was open at 790 with a high of 790 and a low of 726. And the response 2 days later is not, or 1 day later is not that comfortable and also not here. But as you can see, if you don't draw this line like you should, then you might think that this will be a breakout play. But I need volume today in order to play this one. And this green line here is a 9 EMA. Which might be resistance for NNDM at 792. It's now at 767. So in the open, just look at price action in the open. If it pulls down again, then there's no room for a decent long play, I think, because it can also be very choppy with NNDM. But if it goes, then you have this 792 as a level, and then here you have the 20 EMA, which is also a level, but not that big a level for me. And then here you have the 50 EMA. So there's a lot of room then if it's going to be a breakout trade. Just look at some price action pre-market. Well, no price, no action at all. So there's no volume pre-market. So wait for market open to play NNDM. But I just don't want to let it go. So here you see that line that I drew. You can also take this trend line and set your alert there, and then say, okay, if it breaks this one, then I'm hoping that it will break at 792 also, and then I'm gonna go to the long side. But if it pops back first at 727, I'm not sure if I'm inclined to do the long break, because it has a tendency to be very choppy. For NNDM, I'm waiting for the breakout, and I'm just going to keep this one up every day until it does. The BTBT, that's what the one that we saw earlier here. BTBT is, well, this is the daily. It breaks out from this high here. Now where is this? All those lines. So this was the high on the 15th of March. It was 1949. Was it? Yeah. So it breaks that one now. 1949. Breaks over that 1949, and it rejects 2073. So there's a lot of, yeah, that's the big rejection that we saw earlier. Try to, while we are talking about the other stuff, try to take that another time, but didn't want to go there. 2073. So that's going to be a big level, at least pre-market and maybe also market open. And of course, then here are those nice levels where market close and market open are exactly the same. That's $3 from where it's now, but it's a big mover. It has an ATR of 2.21. So really nice play in market open, and I'm just gonna keep following this one also in pre-market. The last one that I have now is space. And this is why. Well, if you want to see a real big head and some overextended 80s shoulders, you know, with the pads in them, then you can say this is a head and shoulder pattern. But if we just zoom in here, then it really wants to hold this. 2646 is this low, and 2447 is this low. So you tell me. You see here those famous Fibonacci lines in this one to see what the retracements could be now. So you can play this one if you're a swing trader and I'm a day trader, so I don't do this swing trading. I'm a day trader, but I put in those Fibonacci lines just for fun. But on a day trade, you don't have to look at those. I'm looking at those 9 EMAs now here at 2080, 50. And if it holds at 2647, then I'm all good today. There's another level here, I think, and you could say this is also trying to be a level, but on low volume, so it's not as strong as a daily level here at 2647. So will it come back to this and then go up again? That's my favorite place. So I'm looking for the gap up and then going down in market open and then trade it up. Okay, guys. So these were the first tickets that I wanted to discuss right now. And if you like that, just hit that like button, please. I have to smash that like button. Smash it. Smash that like button. That's what Spencer told me. Smash that like button. Okay. At the half hour, I'm going to talk a little bit about how I trade. Because people ask, okay, so you're a reversal player, long side and short sides. That's all nice. But how do you really do that now? And it's not this is not something that you have to follow, but it's just something I want to share with you. I'm not going to sell you anything. This is no course. This is no there is no going to be any call to action that you have to go to my website and buy something or something like that. Nothing of that kind. I'm just going to show you how I trade. And on Monday, this is how I trade the long reversal. So on Monday, I told you I need a gap up and I need levels because I want to see a gap up, and because I want to see the stock going down first, and then I want to see levels because I'm trading off levels. I'm not trading in the middle of nowhere and hoping that it would go up or go down. So in my preparation before market open, I'm going to see if there are gap ups and I'm going to look at levels. And if there's any news behind a stock or news coming up, anything that could convince me more, like that this is typically a kind of buy the dip stock, then it's all right for me also. But gap up and levels are the most important things for me. I look at news, of course, as everyone does, but I'm a technical trader, but I'm not a technical trader with 60 Boolean graphs on my screen. So I have very simple screens with a few lines on them, and of course an RSI indicator, and I look at volume, and that's all important. And I look at my level 2, and I look at my tape, but it's not statistics all the way. So I look at gap up and levels, and if I find a strong level and it holds that level and it's a gap up, then I'm looking for a setup. And yesterday I told you about the setup, what kind of setup I like, and that's old school setups. And these old school setups are setups that still work, and that are the setups of higher highs and higher lows. So that's what I talked to you about yesterday. So and today I want to talk you to about through risk management. And risk management starts, I think, with how many shares are you going to trade. Because in a lot of cases, what I see is people who say that they will go into a stock. I'm going to buy this now. And then I always think, okay, with how many shares are you going to do that? Is that going to be your full share size, or 90% or 80% or half of it, or just always 100, or only thousands of so that's always what I wondered, especially when I started trading. And so risk management is all about with how many shares you are going in at the first place, because that's where you start your risk management. Okay, chat, let me know. Does anybody have some idea with how many shares they're going into a stock if they want to trade it, when they're going to trade it? Is it all 90% of your what you can buy, or always thousands, or always 10,000, or always 100, or always 500, or do you have a strategy? Does anybody have a strategy on share size? I can read that. No one. So no one knows with how many shares they go in at the first place. So we have a spammer on our hands. Great. Okay, Moto then, same amount of dollars every time. Okay, that's good. GR risked 3% of total capital. Okay. I always start with 100 shares. David Knowles says 1% of your total capital, I think. Sarvesh, if I pronounced that right, $1,000 and 20 stocks in portfolio. Okay. Okay, I understand that. What I'm going to show you now is how I do this. You don't have to follow me or follow anybody else, but I'm just going to show you how I do this. So can you see this one good, or should I pull it up completely? Is this one that you can read? Chat, please. Can you see this Excel that I have here? Very simple Excel. Can you read it or what? There's some delay, so. All good. Okay. So what I have here is a very simple Excel. Everybody can make this one if you did. If you don't have to follow a course to do this, of course. So what I have here is the number of shares that I will trade, and it's based on my stop loss. So yesterday I showed you VTVT. Just pull it up again. It traded around 358 or 364 or something. Just going to pull a 5. I'm just going to show the 5 minute. Maybe it's more clear. Yeah. So VTVT. There's a T missing, but it's not. So when I go in, I determine my stop loss first. So I showed you yesterday that I have a level, and on that level, I'm going to look at my stop loss. So it could be 10 cents for a small stock. It could be $1 for a bigger stock. It could be 40 cents. It could be anything. So when you trade and you say, okay, I'm going to make sure that my stop loss is, I want to know what my stop loss is, and it's based on the levels that you drew, of course. So that's the thing that's important, this one, A. And then let's say that you have an equity of 10,000. So you have $10,000 in your account, and you want to risk, let's say, 1% of that. and if you risk on one trade. So if you want to risk 1% in a $10,000 stock, you have a risk unit of $100. So there's one trade that you're going to make, and in that one trade that you're going to make, you are prepared to lose $100, and no more than that. Just ignore this one. That's something that I did yesterday. If you say, okay, well, I want 2%, then you can say, okay, then you have a risk unit of $200 for each share. And if you want 3%, then you can say, okay, I want to risk $300 for one share. So you can adjust this one and just say that we are now doing a risk unit of 1% on a 10,000 equity stock amount that you have. Then you are prepared to lose $100 on one trade. So not in one day, but in one trade. So what you're going to do then, if this is the case, so you can see that the left side of the screen adjusts automatically in the share size. So what you're going to do then, 1% risk unit is $100. This is your stop loss. And this is your spread. So every stock has a spread, obviously 1 cent spread, 5 cent spread, 10 cent spread. And you can hold in account that spread, or you can just say, well, to me, there's no spread that's built into my risk. I'm just going to play this one as if there was no spread. And then you can put in this yellow line. So let's say on VTVT yesterday, your entry price here was 351.58. I'm sorry. Your stop loss is 10 cents. Stop loss is 10 cents here. This one. And you say, okay, there's no spread. No spread. So I'm going to buy 1,000 shares, sorry, 1,000 shares of VTVT at 358, and this is what you get, 35.80. Your stop loss is at 34.80, so you have to get out when the stock drops to 3.48, and then you lose $100. If it goes up to 378, then you gain $200. So this is a 1-to-2 ratio win, and that's the minimum that you want. So if you're looking at your risk management and say, okay, I'm going to go in there, I'm prepared to lose $100, then you always need to find a room to gain $200, because otherwise there's no point. So you're putting $100 on the table in order to make $200. If you're in a casino, that's what you want. If you're anywhere in the world and you say, I'm going to put $100 on the table, then you want to at least double this one and not make 110 or 150, but at least double this one. And well, I'm always looking to 1 to 3 trades, but 1 to 2 is the minimum that you want to make. So this is a real good Excel in order to, so these amounts stay the same no matter how big the price is at that moment. So when I first started trading, I just printed out this one and hang it on and put it on my wall with my 1% risk unit. I put it on my wall and then just knew, okay, there's a stop loss 30 cents. I'm going to put in 333, and now I know all these by heart in a 1% risk unit. And if you're going to trade with 3%, then you can see. Then you are willing to lose $300 on one trade. You go in at 358, you stop loss at 348, so you lose $300 or you gain $600. But this is what you want on any stock. So if you're going in without thinking about share size first, then risk management is becoming very difficult. So it's really, it was really good for me to be consequent about this. And then also after I'm done every day, I make up my own no, I don't make up my own. I write my own diary on my trades, and then I'm gonna look if this still works. If this still works for me, because only if you are 50% successful in all your trades, then you're still making money. So as you can see, if you lose 50 times, then you lose 50 times $100. And if you win 50 times, then you make 50 times $200. So on 50-50, you're making money based on what you're doing here. Makes this any sense to you? Okay, Moto Dance. Tomorrow I'm gonna talk about exit strategy. So tomorrow I'm gonna talk about when I'm in the trade. But this is number of shares that you should buy or could buy if you have a determined risk unit, and you really have to do that in order to make sure that your capital is safe. So don't put in too much money. Don't put in just an amount because it's just an amount or because it's just available. If you trade like this and you keep your diary, then you can see if this is successful. And if you are successful at 1%, then at one time you can go to 2% or maybe 3% or 4%. And in order to really build your account on this one. So this is how I do my risk management. It's how I do my risk management. So you don't have to do that. And just this example here is when you're trading. This is when trading with no spread. There's always spread, of course, but not taking the spread into account. And you can also do say, oh, this is a 1 cent spread, and then this is the formula that you get. So you make a little less, and you lose a little less than the 100 and 200 that you have here. So if you want to trade like this, also you can just find this one somewhere on the internet, because it's more or less common knowledge, and I just wanted to share that with you. I trade like this, and it's makes me feel very conscious of my trading. That's one thing, and it really makes me very self-aware. And because I keep a diary, which is not a green diary every day, but I can evaluate my trades doing this, and then by doing that I become a better trader day after day, week after week, year after year. So that's what it's all about. So there was VTVT yesterday, and it was risk management. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about what's going on Thursday when you're in the trades. And exit strategy is there is one of the most talked about problems, I think. If it's a problem, but I certainly feel very anxious when I'm in a trade, and it's really funny that if you are in a trade and you're winning, then I'm sweating, and I'm walking through the room, and I'm going to pieces sometimes. And when I'm losing, I'm really become very calm. That's a weird feeling that you can have then. So that's something that we're going to talk tomorrow on exit strategies, and how you can manage exit strategies, and how you can cope with the FOMO factor of exit strategies. Tesla now at 777. I see that now. That's really nice, Tesla. Good heavens. That's the wrong way. Just gonna draw some lines and see if I can see this. If you can see this pattern or that it's... I'm just overreaching right now. No, don't see that. Okay. Some other tickers. Closing winning trades is hard for me, yeah. I see what you mean. CCIV. Churchill. I've been in this one before, as you can see. This is really some Churchill Group is really something. I remember these times here, and now it looks dead. It looks like a dog, but CCIV you never know. This is the movement pre-market, so well, not really dead. Put up this high here yesterday, but I'm not sure about CCIV because it tends to go right through any level. If you draw levels on CCIV, then it tends to go right through them. So CCIV is all about price action and volume during the day, because I did do my it's under the 9 EMA here. It's under 20 EMA, it's under 50 EMA. Normally you would say, okay, it has to break 2280 here, which is also the high of yesterday. The high of yesterday was 2272, so 2280 would be comfortable for a breakout play. If you're looking if this is a reversal, I'm not convinced yet. Is this going to be a higher low, or is this just consolidation station for 1 day, 2 day, 3 days? I think Churchill, let me just call it Churchill. If Churchill Group is a play, is really depending on price action when markets open, because it tends to go right through any level. So if you want to play that, look at price action. I'm not going to pin any level on it other than a 2280 on the upside. At Think Media, also coin-based. And find a ticker at Think Media. Am I stupid or what am I? So CCFA is a wild one. Also can look at PSEC. And if you have only some other tickets, please let me know. It's a few minutes before closing the show. PSEC here. I think if CCIV moves, PSEC moves. This crossing lines, some analysts would say, okay, watch these, but I'm not that confident that is always the case. I'm looking at, I would rather look at price action also in PSEC. I'm not calling any levels right now. God. Whoa. What's happening here? What was this move on the 6th of April or something? This one? This is a hard play. What can you make of this one? Pre-market pop, so you could have played this one earlier, and then now it's rejecting 340. So this could be a nice play in. Is there any news on this one? Don't see anything. Okay, Galt, yeah. I like this one because it's if this gap up continues, here is no gap up, but that's post-market and pre-market. So if you have a scanner and that tells you post and pre-market gaps are my play, then it would not show in any of those scanners. But as you can see, there is a lot of movement now in pre-market. $50,000 volume on that first pop. Doesn't move that much normally. Normally has an ATR of 234. Latest flow here is 46 million. Latest floats, I have to say. 280, 270. Well, you know, with these small stocks, what's going on if this one fades? Well, normally if this was a bigger stock, let's say $20 or something like that, and it went down here, and then and this is a level, and then you could play it off this level and go up again. But because it's a smaller stock, you don't see that often. It's not uncommon, of course, but it's not something that you see very often on these small stocks. So what you want to do is play a breakout on this one. So breakouts with a lot of volume, that's interesting. This is going to break out pre-market, so that's nothing that you don't want to do now. So keep this one until market open, and see if you can take one of these breakout lines, and if you're so inclined to do, then you can also see that this is a nice wedge. Not for trading it right now, but when markets open, and if lines like this are still applicable, then you can say, okay, I'm going to do the breakout trade. And on a small stock, you need a lot of volume to break out, and then it could be an interesting play for Galt. I'm going to write it down. Thanks for the tip, because it really can go somewhere. And oh, that's one that I didn't use of late. It's 2 minutes past 11. And I'm late again. I can talk about this stuff all day long. Palantir, we talked about Palantir. I can see the breakout play here in Galt, and let's see if it breaks out in volume, and then take the trade. Okay, yes, of course, we didn't talk about Mara and Riot. Take one or two. It really gapped up yesterday. I talked about it in depth yesterday. These are the lines from yesterday. As you maybe remember, there's that green one here. And it had a lot of difficulty pre-market in breaking 54, I think it was. Was it? This is 54.04 and this is 54.20. We looked at this one for some time yesterday, and I also looked at it in my own trading channel at 1:30 in Amsterdam time and 7:30 Eastern time. and just watched it if it would break that 54, and it never really did. It never really did with a lot of volume, so I took it off, and then it faded. So keep in mind that Coinbase is going IPO today, so you never know what tomorrow's going to do on that news. Will it just fade away, or you really can't say anything on a day like this, on a day like such a big IPO. But what we do know is that it had a lot of trouble going over 54 yesterday. And that's because I watched it 30 minutes on a live show that I do in the afternoon. There's a lot of trouble going through 54. So if you are a breakout trader, then you can try and attempt that. Okay, guys, that was the show. It's Coinbase Day. It's going to be a very interesting day. If you like the show, please hit that like, smash that like. Spencer always tells me to say that. Smash that like button. That's good for Benzinga. We want to broadcast 24 hours, 7 someday. And we only are able to do that if we get all the likes from you guys. So thanks for watching, and I'm going to be back tomorrow, 10 o'clock Amsterdam time and 4 o'clock Eastern time. Thanks for watching, and see you tomorrow. Have a nice trading day.